How's it going, guys? Alpha here, bringing you my NPL Week 7 battle, and this week my Rocky Mountain Marowaks took on the Texas Tyrantrums and their coach, Reckless Bat. Nick's a very good friend of mine. Make sure you go check him out, and he's a great battler, just a really cool kid in general. We're some of the greatest Overwatch players on this planet, but we did have to go to Epic Combat this week, so if you haven't checked out my team builder, you might want to check that out and peep that and see what I'm bringing. I had to get a little bit of a kind of crazy fucking psycho this week to get this team ready to beat Nick's monstrosity of a team. But anyways, so this is the team that I brought. As you can see, Mega Guard. It's a standard Calm Mind with HP Fire, Hyper Voice, and Psychic. He didn't bring a Scavalier, so I was kind of pissed because I could have bought something a little bit more useful than HP Fire, but it's whatever. We have a AV Delmise with Rapid Spin, Heavy Slam, Earthquake, and Power Whip. Max HP, Max Defense, I believe. We have a Max HP mixed special wall mixed wall Gastrodon with Stockpile, Scald, Recover, and Rest and Toxic. We have an Akaberry Cobalion with Stealth Rock, Toxic, Iron Head, and Magnet Rise, and then we have a Sash Dodrio with Agility, Baton Pass, Brave Bird, and Steel Wing, and finally we have Hydreigon with Life Orb, Modest, no speed, just high physical bulk, max HP. No, it's not max HP. It's 172 in HP, I want to say, and rest in physical defense, if I'm not mistaken. With Draco Meteor, Flash Cannon, Fire Blast, and Roost. So that's the team that I brought. I saw his team, and when I saw the Bulu, I was a little bit surprised because my team does handle it pretty okay. This team in particular actually doesn't handle it all right, so that was kind of scary, but I did see it, so I had to make sure that I was going to deal with that thing. Did not see the Miltank, which I was glad to see because that was a pain in the ass. And the rest of his team I pretty much expected, so yeah, that was the squad. I saw his team, and I was thinking he's either going to go for... basically what I thought when I saw his team, I was either seeing a Hitmontop lead, or a Hitmontop on Necrozma, or a was it Arcanine? One of the three is what I basically assumed was going to lead, and I believe I end up clicking Cobalion for my lead. I actually don't remember. I'm pretty sure I clicked Cobalion as my lead, seeing if I could get rocks up early. Yeah, I did. Okay, so I lead Cobalion as he leads his Milotic, and I was like, oh, this is weird. He doubles right away, which is nice. He goes into his Hitmontop as I just throw up rocks because I figure, what the hell? And here I'm actually going to stay in and Toxic this thing because I know he's going to go for the Rapid Spin. He doesn't want rocks on his side of the field, obviously. He spins away the rocks, but I've got this thing on a timer already. It's a really good start to the match. So I'm going to double here into my, whatever the fuck this call this thing, Delmise, as on the close combat. As I saw it coming, and I need to keep the, I need to slow this down because we're gonna put it on slow. I doubled into Delmise there because I need to keep Cobalion healthy if I do need to take a hit from Arcanine with the burn up with the Akaberry, and I could do that from about, I think it was about right around half, so I needed to not take that close combat basically, and Delmise was a free switch there. I figured this thing probably doesn't have much coverage to hit me, so I had nothing to lose there. So he fires off the close combat. Obviously I'm immune, and here I'm just going to go for the, I'm going to double back into Cobalion, I think, maybe? I don't remember what I did here. I don't remember at all. I double into Gastrodon, maybe? Yeah, Gastrodon, okay. Yeah, so this is a good matchup for me. He can't really do anything to me, so he's going to double into his Bulu. Not double, hello. He's just going to switch. Well, I guess no, he doubled into his top. Yeah, it was a double. I fire off a Toxic trying to get the Arcanine because the Arcanine kind of causes a problem for my team, so I didn't want to deal with it. So here I'm not in a bad position because he doesn't know that I have rest yet. He throws off a Toxic. I'm just going to fire off a Scald in case he wants to bring Bulu in on me. He doesn't, so that's unfortunate. Here I'm going to fire off a Stockpile because I thought after he saw the Scald he wouldn't go into Bulu, so I figured I was free to put up a Stockpile and put myself in a good position. So that's exactly what I'm going to do as he's going to fucking double into the Bulu. So that's unfortunate. So I put up the Stockpile, revealing that I am a Stockpile set. He doesn't know that I have rest yet, but it's kind of a little bit more obvious now, I would think. But I do show it off, and yeah, it's kind of like, what the fuck, I have to switch now. So I'm going to go into Cobalion because I know I can take a Woodhammer relatively well. It kind of sucks for the whole dealing with Arcanine thing, but I do get recovery because of Grass Retrain, so it wasn't that big of a deal. He shows off the Horn Leech, and it only does 23%, which leads me to believe he was one of three things. Either A, he was Expert Belt, B, he was Babiri Berry, or C, he was Akaberry. He might have actually, he could have also been the poison one, which I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm thinking it was probably a damage reducing berry if I had to guess though. Poison would make the most sense, I suppose. But I do have a couple of threats. Well, he could have definitely been Akka, actually, now that I think about it. So he shows off the Horn Leech. It only has 22%, which tells me he's probably an Adamant, but like I said, not Choice Banded, which is a good thing. So I take that with no problem. I'm going to throw my rocks up again because I have no reason not to. His Diancie's not Mega Evolved yet, and I can get my rocks up for nothing. He's going to Protect, so that's fine by me, as I'm just going to throw up my rocks. And here I'm going to go for a Toxic, predicting a switch into... no, I go for an Iron Head here. No, I go for a Toxic here. No, I go for an Iron Head because he goes into Milotic. I'm almost positive. No, he goes into Hitmontop. Did I fire? I clicked Iron Head here, didn't I? Yeah, okay. I'm all kinds of messed up. This was kind of a crazy battle with a lot of switching, so I can't remember every single turn. So I just fire out the Iron Head there. I figured worst case scenario, he would go into Arcanine and get the Intimidate drop on me. The Hitmontop did not take that all that well, which leads me to believe it was probably more specially defensive, which is a good thing for me. Well, I guess it's not resistant like Arcanine, so maybe it wasn't. I don't know. But this thing's way low and it's on a timer, so he can't the Grassy Terrain helps, but he's still on a timer regardless. He's gonna, I'm assuming, spin the rocks away here. So I'm just gonna fire off an Iron Head again to try to get him into that chip range for another Iron Head, or for another Iron Head basically, as the Toxic's gonna continue to wear him down. So that's what I do, and I put him down to 22%, and I'm in range to potentially kill here, so that's really good. He throws off a Toxic actually. He doesn't even spin the rocks away, which is even better for me. So I basically get a free Iron Head off there. He is now forced to switch because the Grassy Terrain is gone, and he needs to keep this thing around to try to keep rocks off try to get rocks off his field. It's looking a lot less likely now, but anything can happen. It's Pokemon. He goes into his whatever the fuck this thing's called, his I click Iron Head, trying to kill the Hitmontop. And here he's gonna fire off an Ice Beam, probably predicting either my Delmise or my Gastrodon to come in. And I'm just gonna Toxic this thing because I don't even care about Marvel Scale. I know I could beat this thing 1v1 eventually because I'm very, very specially bulky, so I'm not worried about it. So yeah, here I'm actually going to switch in. Now I'm going to switch into my Gastrodon as he's going to click Scald here, and that's going to get me my Storm Drain boost clearly. And I'm just going to use that to my advantage and take the turn to fire off a Toxic. I'm pretty sure. No, I fire off a Scald here. No, I don't remember what I did. I want to say I click Stockpile here. I definitely click Stockpile here. Do I? Maybe I clicked Rest. No, I click Stockpile here as he goes back into Bulu. No, yep, that's exactly what happens. I need to speed this up because I'm starting to fall behind now. Or it's starting to fall behind. Yeah, I clicked Stockpile in case you wanted to go into Arcanine or something. I don't know. I clicked Stockpile. What the hell? Or if you wanted to stay in and try to stall me out because recover. But so I'm going to switch again into my my Delmise this time. I was actually scouting for Superpower. He shows Horn Leech again. He gets a crit. Crit really was completely inconsequential. I'm still taking hits from all of his special attackers, except for like I'm even taking Moonblast from Mega Diancie at this point, so I'm not that worried about it. But it does show me, like I said, once again, that he's not a boosting move for damage, so that was really interesting. For a while, I almost thought he was Choice Scarf, but then I remembered he showed Protect, so that wasn't a thing. But here, it allows me to just fire off a Heavy Slam, because he's going to bring in the Arcanine, but there's not, or the Milotic, but there's nothing I can really do, so I'm just going to fire off the Heavy Slam, and I think it does like 5%, which is wild, which tells me he's very, very bulky. He's actually not all that bulky, because you'll see later in the match he does have to speed my Gardevoir, but so I'm gonna go into my Gastrodon here as he clicks Burn Up, and it does 17%, which tells me he's not invested, which is exactly what I expected. And here I'm going to show off my Rest because I am getting a little bit worn down by the Toxic, and I don't want to deal with it anymore. So I'm just gonna finally show that I am Rest. As he brings, no, I clicked Scald here because I wanted to. If you wanted to bring in the Dreidel, that's exactly why. Yeah. So I kill off the Hitmontop, he rocks her up, and now he's gonna bring in Bulu again. So never mind, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Yeah, he brings in Bulu. I told you this game was a lot of switching. I get the turns mixed up. I'm going to pull into Cobalion again because he didn't show Superpower last time. I'm assuming he doesn't have it at all. So the Horn Leech does 20% once again, confirming he's not very threatening to me. So I could just sit in front of this thing all day, especially with Grassy Terrain up, which is really nice to know. I'm going to double into Delmise here as he's going to go in, and he's going to go for the Protect, which allows me to fire off another Heavy Slam because there's not a whole lot he can do, as he's just going to go for another Protect. To just scout out, and I'm clicking Heavy Slam every time. And this time, as I click Heavy Slam, I believe he goes into his... I think he goes into... Oh no, he goes into Arcanine. Did I double here? Yeah, I did. I'm a boss. That's right. No. No. I expected the Arcanine 100% there, though, because it's an Arcanine. It's a switch every time into that thing, especially with the Grassy train up, because my Earthquake obviously does less damage. I went into Mega Guard here because I knew that Burn Up, if he didn't outspeed me, was going to do jack shit to me after I get the Calm Mind up, so it was a perfect opportunity to get one up with Mega Gardevoir and poke holes through his team. So I pulled the double into Gardevoir as he did go into Arcanine. I get the Intimidate drop, which I didn't even think about when I made that play, but it worked out in my favor, and I'm going to Mega Evolve as he clicks Burn Up. He was actually faster than me, which I did not expect and did not anticipate, which could put a damper in my plans, but nonetheless I get the Calm Mind up, and now nothing on his team is appreciating hits. Arcanine, if he was especially... actually, no, Arcanine was still taking a hit here, but he likes to pull a double into it. Oh, wait, no, he wasn't Fire type anymore. He wouldn't have taken Hyper Voice, but he likes to pull a double into his Milotic, which allows me to fire off a Psychic on it, and it's going to get blown back every time, even with Marvel Scale. I'm assuming he was Marvel Scale. I'm going to kill off the Milotic with Mega Gardevoir, and that's going to lead him to bring in Mega Diancie, and as we know, I calced myself so that I could easily take a Diamond Storm even from this range. So he's going to fire over Diamond Storm. It's going to do 55%, 52%, and I'm going to kill him off with a Hyper Voice, and Mega Gardevoir is putting in work once again on the season. I had to switch here, though, because we do know that the Arcanine outspeeds me. It's okay, though. It's taking chip damage. I'm okay with this. I'm going to double into my Gastrodon here because I have no reason not to, and here is where I finally show off rest. I knew I got really low at one point, and I was like, I need to rest here. So that's exactly what I do this turn as he loses his Fire typing. There was no reason for me to attack because he lost his Fire typing. So I'm going to click rest here as he goes into Bulu. I'm going to get off that Toxic that he put on me with Top, and I'm going to get back to full health. And now I'm going to just go directly back into Cobalion because he's shown that he can't really touch me. And here he's going to fire off a Dazzling Gleam, which is kind of funny. Doesn't do much because I am a very, very especially bulky Cobalion. And here I'm just going to fire off an Iron Head as he's going to go into his Arcanine. I clicked Toxic here because I knew he was going to switch. Yeah, I clicked Toxic here. Put the Arcanine on the timer, and that's going to pretty much... At this point, it's pretty much going to wrap up the game unless he has some crazy Necrozma set going. He's not going to be able to break through all of my walls, plus outspeed Hydreigon and Dodrio, which is really good for me. So here I'm just going to click Draco Meteor, as he actually outspeeds my Hydreigon. My Hydreigon was 0 speed, so that's why. He crits my Hydreigon, which was unfortunate, but it didn't really impact the game that much. My Draco Meteor blows it all the way back, and it brings me down to 5%, which allows him to bring in his Necrozma, which I was kind of scared about. Here I'm just sacking off Hydreigon to get chipped because I can't afford for him to set up in my face. So I'm just going to click Draco Meteor here, and it actually still does 52%, so he must have not been a bulky Necrozma, as he's going to put up an Autotomize, and I'm scared for my life because Autotomize. So I'm going to bring in Dodrio on Focus Sash, and he doesn't even bring me down my Sash anyway, so I'm just going to fire off a Brave Bird, which is exactly what I do. We kill off the Necrozma. Apache gets its first kill of the season, and all he's got left is Bulu, so we are going to... Well, he's going to click Protect here. Also, my grounded Dodrio does not get recovery. I'm a little bit salty. No, it's a flying type, I knew, but it makes sense. I'm sorry. He clicks a Protect here for like a, last hope, but I'm going to just kill him off with my Brave Bird, and we're going to pick up a 4-0 victory. This was a massive win for us this season because it now puts us at... I'm assuming it puts us at the top of the conference. I can never be sure with my fucking division, my conference, but I'm assuming this puts us at the top of the conference. It at the very least puts us ahead of Nick. Which is really, really good for us. Gets us some breathing room, gets us out of that crappy position near the bottom of the playoffs. So, yeah, we pick up a 4-0. It's a huge win. I was so excited to get 2 kills with Dodrio. I brought that so last minute, and I was just like, oh, I hope this works, and I'm going to be really sad if it doesn't. Even if it just baton passed a speed boost, I would have been happy. But it doesn't matter. We do pick up a 2-0 victory, or a 4-0 victory, and it bumps us up to 5-2 on the season with a +10 differential, which is really, really solid. Mega Guard putting in solid work this week. Dodrio, Hydreigon, everything on my team put in solid work and did what it needed to do. Cobalion walled shit. Delmize spin blocked and fighting type blocked, which was really nice. It also took some hits when it needed to. Gastrodon was a fucking monster. It was just a really, really good team effort from my squad, and I'm really glad it worked out because I brought some kind of funky sets this week. But that's all I have for you guys today. If you guys love the video and want to show your support, be sure to like, comment, your thoughts, comment section below. Also remember to subscribe and join the Droplet Stain. Don't forget to share, because sharing is caring. Follow me on Twitter because I do updates and stuff. When videos are coming out, to go in contact with me, and sometimes I'm kind of funny. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll speak to you soon. Peace out.